We've all seen those gurus on social media shouting, AI will replace us, AI is the future, Figma is dead, especially on LinkedIn. But is this actually true? Today I'm tackling 3 questions. Can I design a good website using AI only? Has AI killed the traditional way of designing? Like Figma. Will AI actually replace us? A quick intro for everyone who doesn't know me. Everyone, since it's my first video and some friends that are watching this video. Well, hey friends. I'm Kirilo, a senior product designer with over 6 years of professional experience designing websites, web apps, and native apps. Before we dive in, one quick thing. Yes, AI is faster because it spits out code. But let's be real, most of that code is a hot mess that needs rewriting anyway. So we are focusing on the design aspect of things only. And sure, AI lets non-technical people build, which is cool. But honestly, all it's worth is testing assumptions. It's not built for building anything scalable. Now, let's answer the biggest question first, which is, will AI replace us? Let's begin by asking AI to create a creative SaaS landing page. I want to do it really simple, just because I want to see what it's going to come up with from the beginning. While waiting for AI to generate, it got me thinking. It actually takes quite a bit of time to complete, like rendering back in the day. It has actually done something. Alright, let's look into that. He named it SaaS Flow. Has a few navigation links, a few buttons, a badge that is now public in beta, or it's now in public beta. Transform your business with intelligent automation. This hero section doesn't look bad at all. It's quite generic. I don't see, anything extremely creative about this. The same, as I've asked it to be creative, but you see, it's just default AI template type of stuff. It's clean. It's also safe, but it's also not the best. By the way, this is not working. It is what it is. It has some... Oh, what is this? Okay, it had some sort of glitch in here. And then the footer. The footer actually looks quite good. Again, it's the most generic footer you could probably imagine. The only thing that I don't like is why it uses or at least I think it does use a different icons in here or in here. Or maybe I'm just glitching. Yeah, I'm probably just glitching on that one, but I would definitely prefer to use the actual real icons of X, I believe it's GitHub, and LinkedIn. Now, we see that the design is not bad. It's not good, it's just okay. I think it's fair to say that AI won't replace us in the near future, and I have a few thoughts about it. Firstly, design is all about empathy. The designer's job is to solve humans' problems, which AI cannot do right now. Maybe at some point, but not in the nearest future. At least that's what I think. Secondly, the design is all about creativity, while AI is opposite. It's trained on our creativity, hence making it not able to comprehend human creativity. So until AI becomes like human, like in that game, we are safe. Although, not everything is that positive, as we are about to witness a crisis. Junior designer roles are starting to disappear from the market. Most of the job that was done by a junior is now being replaced by AI, as it's cheaper and it's hard to compete against $20 AI subscription. I'm not sure what it will cause in the long run, but if you're a junior designer watching this video, you need to speed up, as in the later times it will be even harder to get anything as AI becomes better day by day. Now, since we are clear with the first one and the biggest one, let's jump into the second two. I will try to redesign the same thing as AI gave me on the first prompt, so we have the same example. To begin with, I want to actually tell you how do I want to approach this. So I want to make AI create the page step by step, giving it really small tasks and seeing if I can actually structure it the way I want it to be. So in a similar way as I would do it in Figma, but rather than moving pixels, I'd ask AI doing things. So let's begin. I start by asking AI to give me a blank so I can start building and adding more things to it. Although this was not the best idea to do in the long run, as it eats up credits, but we get to that later. Next, I decided to add some blurred circles to give the website more of an ambient feel. I started with the background, since that felt like the most natural step, kind of like adding layers in the design software. The plan was to apply the blurs, switch the colors to the right ones, and then adjust the position of the blobs, since we can't really move them manually. I also decided to adjust the size of the blobs and tone down the blur, since it felt a bit too strong for my taste.
As you can see in here, I'm trying to give him an instruction that he can actually understand. I'm asking him to move things by 10% to bottom and 10% to left. And I hope that now he's going to reposition them a little bit and it's going to look even better, a bit more random. Now, as you can see, I've noticed that the colors of the blobs are a little bit different, so I'm trying to give him a clue to actually make them the same opacity so they look, exactly the same.
Here, I decided to switch the background from white to pale green I have been using as a theme. It makes the blob blend much better, instead of standing against a harsh white. I have also added a pulsing animation on the blobs. Now that the background is finally done, let's move on to the UI elements. I'm starting with the navigation, and since we are working on the same website, I'll reuse the nav links from the initial AI prompt. That first result was far from what I wanted, so let's keep tweaking until it matches the vision I have in mind.
We've been recording for 20 minutes, and the only thing that I have managed to do so far is partially the navigation and some background stuff, which is really weird. I think I would have done it much faster with Figma.
Wrapping up the navigation, we've centered it, made the container hug the contents, and now we're adding a background with rounded buttons. The idea is to create that nice wrapped feeling where the container frames the buttons. I also don't want the nav to stand out too much. I'm using a darker green with 10% opacity and a subtle backdrop blur.
So what I want to do in here is I want to change the green button to be black so it actually is not as prominent.
The final touches on the navigation. I'm adjusting hover effects on the buttons and text links.
It's been 31 minutes since we are recording and we're still fighting with the navigation. Yeah, this doesn't look really promising in terms of speed, to make it creative at least. Maybe I should have taken a bit different approach and asked it to do the similar thing, with a website and just try to, fix some stuff up. But again, it's just, I want to design something from scratch.
Oh, and let's add some smooth transition between the navigation links, something really seamless.
This actually looks really cool. Actually, it did listen for me from the first time, which is great. This looks dope.
Now, for the main area content, I'm copying over the heading and a paragraph from AI's original design and adding a few buttons with the same text. So I want to actually play around with this heading and I want to change it to a different font. Of course, it had to start glitching at some point. It seems like it just changed to a random font, but it's not that one. It was supposed to be instrument serif. I made a mistake. That actually looks quite cool. You know what? Let's make the oh, wait. That's too much. Fix the font size to something that feels right. Now, off we go to experiments. Alright, so this one is going to be quite interesting because I don't know if it actually will create something that actually looks like the dashboard, but let's see. I'm curious to find, well, I cannot really design in here. So, in the usual case scenario in Figma, I would just design a dashboard or use a picture of a dashboard and, like use this stack of elements the way I envisage it in here. But the biggest issue I have is that I cannot really do that. So I can literally just ask AI to do something similar to that. But let's see, maybe it's going to do something decent. All right, let's revert back. I want to adjust my prompt. While tweaking my prompt, it got me thinking, is there actually a way to prompt without AI doing something completely random? And now the struggle begins. I'm trying to get the AI to create a stack of cards with the dashboard element it made sitting on top, but for some reason it keeps doing everything except that, moving things around randomly, or just showing up the exact same layout I had before. Yeah, it looks like it just doesn't understand what is going on, but I cannot still see anything. It's the same stuff, essentially. Not only can I not get the stack of cards, but now the AI is throwing even more randomness to the design. I don't know, this is absolutely random. Like we've been already fighting with this component for quite a while. I haven't managed to actually, create the stack with it. But I'm going to try to at least stretch it out, make it look a little bit better. All right, at least this card now looks good. I actually still want to try to make it stacked. So let's see if I'll be able to do that. I'm giving AI a really detailed prompt, explaining exactly how I want this stack to work, adding in every detail I can think of. All right, I think this is just pointless to fight. We're just wasting time in here. I'm just going to reverse back to this view and, let's try to polish up this hero section. And I think that's enough for this experiment because I think we've already kind of answered all of our questions, but we'll summarize it when we are done fully polishing it. Removing the extra padding at the bottom so the hero section stays unscrollable. I just deleted everything. But it wasn't that... That's weird. That was super weird. Yeah, I mean, I cannot see the page scrolling, but it's really weird. Should have not removed everything, it just removed the content, so it seems like the content was not in, or it was inside of the hero section, but it was kind of outside of it, which is really weird, but let's see. I've made the page unscrollable. Now, let's polish a few things. First, I want the logo to use the same font as the heading, and I'll adjust its size. Next, I'm fixing the spacing. AI gave me some odd values like 7 and 14 pixels on the buttons, which isn't great. I prefer working within the Step 4 framework, basically keeping everything divisible by 4. Alright, I think that's enough. First of all, we've already been lagging a little bit. We've took 71 prompts so far to create this only hero section. We're not talking about the whole website, it was just hero section. First question. Can I design a good website using AI only? And yes, I think this is possible. But here is the thing. AI does everything quite well until it doesn't. We spent ages trying to make a simple stack of cards, and it just completely refused to do so in the end. Maybe my prompt was not perfect, but we tried different ways, step by steps, explaining it what I want to do, nothing really worked. The truth is, to get a decent result, you still need someone who knows how to do things, I mean design. Otherwise, you will end up with exactly the same result as the first prompt we got, which is just, okay, nothing more. Second question. Has AI killed the traditional ways of designing? And I would say absolutely not. I would much rather prefer jumping in Figma before touching AI. It's faster, more flexible, and way less frustrating. With AI, I can't experiment that quickly. I have to wait, prompt, wait again, adjust, revert, and so on and so forth. AI makes plenty of mistakes and often just misunderstands what you're trying to say. And if I'm crafting the assets for tools like Jitter or Rive, it's a total nightmare. Traditional design is miles ahead compared to AI. So, Does it even make sense right now to use AI for designing? And honestly, for me, not really. It's much faster to design with the traditional ways and then hand over to the developers. Shout out to all developers watching this video, or even build it in Framer, which is again just much faster and less frustrating. So where do I see AI being useful right now? It's when you need to show something to the client really quickly, or maybe you are doing some sort of animation that you try to explain to the developer. That's when I see AI shining. But even then, it still takes a lot of time to get it right. Now, I'm curious, do you use AI for your design process? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know if this was just me or you were having the same struggles as I did when creating this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more creative content. Bye. Yeah, I'm struggling today. Oh my god. To the video.
Oh, why did I do that?
To get a decent design, you still you still okay. God.